There's a moment when you realize this isn't a sedan pretending to be fast. It's a supercar that simply happens to have 4 doors. The Aston Martin Rapide AMR doesn't enter the room loudly. It stands there long enough for the room to adjust to it. And once it does, everything else suddenly feels a little less special. Start with the front, because that's where Aston Martin always begins the conversation. The grille is wide, confident, and unmistakably Aston. Not oversized. Not decorative. Just perfectly proportioned. The LED headlights sit sharp and focused, giving the car an expression that feels calm rather than aggressive, as if it already knows it doesn't need to prove anything. The hood stretches long and low, sculpted with restraint. No fake vents, no unnecessary creases. Just subtle muscle, hiding one of the most important engines of the modern era. A naturally aspirated 6.0-liter V12. In a time where everything is turbocharged, hybridized, or quietly apologizing for being loud, the Rapide AMR does none of that. It delivers 603 horsepower and 630 Nm of torque without assistance, excuses, or filters. Power flows to the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic, tuned not for shock value, but for control. 0 to 60 arrives in about 4.2 seconds, and the top speed pushes past 205 miles per hour. Numbers that feel almost inappropriate for a car that looks this elegant. Move to the side profile, and this is where the Rapide AMR separates itself from every other 4-door performance car. The proportions are long, low, and dramatic. The roofline flows like a coupe, not a sedan, while the wheelbase gives it presence without bulk. Those muscular rear haunches are pure Aston Martin, tension built into the body, like it's holding itself back. The 21-inch AMR wheels fill the arches perfectly, sitting over massive carbon ceramic brakes, because with this much power, stopping is not optional. This is not a car designed for traffic lights. It's designed for empty highways and long memories. Step inside, and the atmosphere changes, not into something futuristic, but something timeless. The interior doesn't overwhelm you with screens or gimmicks. Instead, it surrounds you with craftsmanship. Leather everywhere. Alcantara lining the roof. Carbon fiber and metal placed with intent. The seating configuration is a true 4-seat layout. Not symbolic. Not, in theory. 4 adults can sit here comfortably, each with their own sense of space and importance. The rear seats aren't an afterthought, they're an invitation. Up front, the driving position is low and purposeful. The steering wheel feels mechanical, weighted, and alive. The gauges are clear, the controls tactile. You don't operate this car, you engage with it. Yes, the infotainment system isn't the fastest or flashiest. And that's fine. This car was never meant to compete with smartphones. It was meant to outlast them. Now comes the part that defines the AMR badge. The suspension is reworked specifically for this model, firmer, sharper, more focused. Despite its size, the Rapide AMR feels planted and confident through corners. The steering is hydraulic, which means it actually talks back. You feel road texture, grip changes, and weight transfer in a way modern systems simply don't allow. Push harder, and the car responds with composure. Not nervous. Not dramatic. Just precise. It rewards smooth inputs, patience, and confidence. The kind of driving that feels earned rather than assisted. And then there's the sound. The V12 doesn't shout constantly. It builds. It swells. It reminds you that mechanical music doesn't need speakers or software updates. Just air, fuel, and 12 cylinders doing what they were born to do. There's also the reality of ownership. Only 210 units of the Rapide AMR were ever produced worldwide. No reruns. No extended editions. This is one of the final chapters of Aston Martin's naturally aspirated V12 era, and one of the rare times that performance, luxury, and practicality existed in genuine balance. You're not buying this car to chase lap times. You're buying it because you understand what's disappearing. The Aston Martin Rapide AMR doesn't care where the industry is headed. It doesn't try to be efficient, silent, or digitally impressive. It focuses on one thing: delivering an experience that feels complete. 4 doors, 12 cylinders, 0 compromises. And once you understand that, it becomes very hard to look at modern performance sedans the same way again.